Well, that was one of the ugliest games that I have seen in a while. From the play on the field to the refereeing. God, the refereeing was horrible in this game, and we'll talk about that and all the yellow cards and disaster that we saw in tonight's match. But LAFC have advanced against Cruz Azul to make it to the semifinals of the CONCACAF Champions Cup after winning 4-1 on aggregate and 1-1 in this second leg against Cruz Azul. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Also want to mention that we're presented by FanDuel, our proud sponsor of the channel. LAFC, hey, listen, they took care of business in leg one, 3-0, and they had to do something that a lot of MLS teams have struggled to do, which is travel to Mexico to finish the deal and advance to the next round of the Champions Cup. That's what they did. So let's talk about it. First, the first half of this game. The first half of this game was very disappointing, I think, from LAFC perspective. Marc Dos Santos' idea or game plan coming to this game was to play very, very conservative and allow Cruz Azul to have possession, take chances, and LAFC just kind of hope to hold on and not concede any goals. The problem with that is if they did start scoring goals, LAFC, what were they going to do to adjust? And I also want to mention to you guys, if you didn't know, that CONCACAF has an away goal rule. So if LAFC had scored just one goal tonight earlier in the match, which they scored a penalty late in the game, but if they had scored one goal earlier, that would have meant that Cruz Azul would have needed 5 goals to win this series. So it would have put a lot more pressure on Cruz Azul. So I mentioned that because it felt like LAFC were allowing them the opportunity to have chances and maybe score some goals when I would have liked them to come out and be more aggressive. We didn't really see that. But the first 12 minutes of this game, there was like 7 yellow cards, 5 for Cruz Azul and 2 for LAFC. The manager even got a yellow card. I mean, it was very chippy. It felt like the referee lost control of the game very early on in this match. And you could just tell that it was going to be very, very wonky, and it was going to be chaos. That's the best word, just chaos. It was going to be a chaotic game, right? So 18 minutes in, they're in the box. Cruz Azul has a penalty, or not penalty, a corner, and I think it was off of a corner. It might have been off a free kick. Either way, Palencia gets called for a penalty on Fernandez. And it was such a soft penalty, too. I mean, he did have his arm wrapped around him, but Fernandez folded, he fell down like a chair. Like he folded like a chair and made Palencia fall on him, and they called it a penalty. They even reviewed it and still called it a penalty. I thought it was a super weak penalty, right? I did not think it was a penalty. But Cruz Azul able to get a penalty called in the 18th minute. They score 1 goal to go up 1-0, and now they just need 2 in order to tie this and go into extra time and have a chance to win this game. So that happens, right? So at that point, I'm thinking that maybe they could make a comeback. We've seen this before in MLS. We saw it happen with San Diego versus Toluca. We saw this happen with Tigres versus Cincinnati. There is a real fear for some MLS teams that they could choke, they could concede, and have these teams in Mexico come back and beat them. So there's that fear lingering in the back of their head, right? So they score. It's 1-0. They just had so many chances. It's like LAFC, I don't know what they were thinking, but that was the first of many chances. In the first half, right? 1-0 at this point. In the first half, LAFC had possession of the ball 29%. 1 shot the entire first half. Like I said, no aggression, very conservative, park the bus mentality, not trying to get that away goal. Just no aggressiveness. No, they're not going for it at all, right? Cruz Azul, 71% of possession in the first half, 16 shots, 6 on target, 3 big chances. So Cruz Azul had several chances to score and make this game even closer than what it was in the first half. But you have to give a lot of credit, which we'll talk about him later, but you have to give a lot of credit to the mayor of LA, Hugo Lloris, who was by far the best player in this game for either side. I mean, he was incredible. Like, this was time machine Lloris. This was prime Tottenham French national team Lloris we saw tonight. Guy was unbelievable tonight. Okay, he was. He's unbelievable. Best player on the pitch. He had a great game. So he kept them in this. Several key saves, several headers off of crosses. They had I think it was like 7 corners or 5 corners in the first half. They had a lot of corners in this game, though, but they had their chances, right? So LAFC is able to fend them off. They look really bad. They look sluggish. I thought Tillman was horrible in the first half. He was horrible all game, but he was really bad in the first half. He has no business being on the wing or as a 10. No creativity. David Martinez was horrible in the first half. Touches were heavy. He just mentally was not making the right decisions tonight. He looked bad. So there was like no service to Son Heung-min at all in this game. Like one shot in the first half, and it was by David Martinez. He sailed it over the crossbar, right? He absolutely sailed it over the crossbar. So Son Heung-min had no service tonight, which is a shame, right? But I think that was the plan. They just wanted to be conservative, which I don't agree with, but it was abysmal in the first half. Hugo Lloris, best player for them. So go to the second half. It's 1-0 Cruz Azul, right? LAFC, I thought needed to make some subs because some of their players like Segura and a couple other guys were either playing bad or they were just playing very tired, right? They were very happy because the altitude is like 7,000 feet where they were playing tonight, which is way, way higher than what it is in LA. And you could tell they were tired and they were struggling in this environment, right? So, hey, everyone, quick word from our sponsor, FanDuel. If you're into soccer like I am, you already know how exciting La Liga, the Premier League, and MLS matches can get. With FanDuel, you can make it even more fun by placing bets on your favorite teams and matches across all 3 leagues. Whether it's a Premier League showdown, a La Liga thriller, or an MLS game with your local club, FanDuel makes it easy and exciting to bet on what you watch. Just remember, you have to be 21 years or older to play. Please bet responsibly and only if you're of legal age and in a state where it's allowed. Download the FanDuel app or head over to FanDuel.com, sign up, and get in on the action. Thanks for supporting the channel through FanDuel. Second half starts. I'm a little nervous. I'm thinking LAFC. I've seen this so many times where a team chokes and they end up folding. So Cruz Azul comes out swinging again in the second half. They try to take some chances, but you could kind of tell that they look a little sluggish themselves after probably 15 or 20 minutes. But then, like 15 minutes into the first half, no, maybe not even 15 minutes, maybe it's like 5 minutes in the first half or second half, they had to stop the game because of these offensive chants that Cruz Azul were saying to Hugo Lloris. They had to stop the game for 5 to 7 minutes and just wait for them to stop, which was obviously just a disaster. The referee stopped the game. Disasters and they have to stop the game because of this is going on, and it just kind of stalls the game out. Just not a good situation in general. That happens. Then the game plays back on. We're thinking there's going to be 10 minutes of extra, of added time. Just kills the momentum of Cruz Azul. And Cruz Azul starts getting some opportunities. They start subbing some guys out and bringing in some fresh legs. LAFC did the same thing. They did bring out David Martinez. They did bring out Segura, but that was later in the game. They brought Segura. No, Segura, I guess they didn't. I guess they brought, try to remember who they brought. Took out Tillman, They took out Tillman for Hollingston, but that was later in the game. But David Martinez was the first substitution they made in the second half. Okay. He was terrible in this game. So they're trying to be even more defensive. They took out David Martinez, and I think they brought in Schaffelberg in for David Martinez to get that pace, and hopefully you can wear him down with some fresh legs. Cruz Azul. The second half, Cruz Azul had 15 shots, 4 on target, 2 big chances to LAFC's 5 shots and 1 on target, 1 big chance. And this possession was 72% for Cruz Azul. So they were still letting him have possession, take all these chances and try to score to level it up, which I just did not agree with. They had 11 total corners in the game, Cruz Azul. But then the refereeing got even more out of hand. There was a sequence, I think it was 72 minutes into the game. I could be wrong. Denny Bwanga got fouled. Was it Denny Bwanga? I think it was, Denny Bwanga got pushed down. Okay. And this would have been Rotondo's second yellow card. But then another player came up to the referee and got a yellow. And then the referee just completely ignored the first yellow that should have been issued. That would have gave this guy a red card. It would have been double yellow to get him a red. He would have been sent off. I don't know what the hell happened there. That was insane. I don't know how the referee let that happen. That was a blatant foul. Okay. Then there was a time where Son Heung-min got pushed in the back as he's gone out of bounds. He was literally going out of bounds for a throw in, and the guy shoved him and he fell down. No yellow card. No yellow card. Right? Those were two missed calls. Huge missed calls. Okay. Then in the 90th minute, Piovi just says, the hell with it. Cowabunga, I'm going in, I'm taking out Bouanga's leg, and gets a red card. I mean, he didn't even go for the ball. I mean, he just swiped the leg, took him out, and he's fouled, right? So Cruz Azul was just playing super aggressive. They were playing nasty. The handball that there was in the 90th minute plus and added time to give him the penalty for LAFC. But this was just a choppy game. It was horrible refereed game by the refs. It was officiated game. It was a horrible game by Cruz Azul with the chippiness and the just cheap shots they were taking. I mean, they probably had like 6 or 7 yellows in this game. I can go back and look, but I mean, they had 10 fouls in this game in the second half. Cruz Azul did. They had 18 fouls in the entire game. 18 fouls Cruz Azul had. So it was a super chippy. It was a bad game. It was a hard fought game, but LAFC were able to win on aggregate and tie this game up. And even if Cruz Azul went crazy, they would have had to score 5 goals to win this game. LAFC have won, and they advance to the next round of the CONCACAF Champions Cup and will play in the semifinals against either LA Galaxy, El Tráfico rivalry, or they will play against Toluca, which many people consider to be the favorite of this tournament. So it's going to be, I think it's probably going to be Toluca, but it's going to be a tough battle for them in the next round regardless, right? So, but they win, they advance. That's all that matters. And LAFC look like they have a legitimate chance to win this tournament after the quarterfinals. So it was a disaster of a game, not because of, I mean, there was some bad play too, but, just terrible from the referees and everything. But listen, I got to say again, give Hugo Lloris his props. Guy balled out, my player of the game by far. TAC has got to be better though, because they're going to have to be able to score some goals against some like Toluca if they want to win this Champions Cup. So they're going to have to be better in the attack and have to be more aggressive early on than what they were in this game. I'm curious to see what you guys think. How would you rate this game? Did you think the refereeing was bad? Did you think it was okay? Let me know down below what you guys think. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you guys give it a like down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Also want to say that MLS Moves was presented by FanDuel. Till next time, guys, I will see you all soon.